Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Drew. What it do? Hopefully you are having a fantastic day today. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to take outfit pictures by yourself. If you don't have anyone to help you, there's a couple things you're going to need to do. Let's get into the video. So when it comes to Fit-Pics, you're going to need a couple things. Obviously, you're going to need your fit. So for what I'm wearing, I am wearing a varsity jacket. Let me tilt the camera down a little bit. A varsity jacket. I have some some Levi 501s on. I have a Rocky Clark hat on, and then I have, see if I can get this in frame, I have the Ore, probably can't even see them, but let me tilt the camera down. I have the Ore NYCs, the Empire City Highs on, and the version 2 variant. After you have your fit nailed down, you're gonna need to find a good location. The location I have right here is pretty much a blank wall, and I'm gonna show you guys just why I chose this location. For me personally, when I take an outfit picture outside especially, I want to make sure the wall is a very clean wall. There isn't too much on it, there isn't too much going on that will distract away from the actual outfit that I'm wearing, and this is an example of that wall. So as you guys can see, the wall is pretty clear, there's not a lot of stuff on it, and this is the wall that I go to when I essentially don't have a lot of options for a fit pic, but I know I need to get one in. This is kind of like my go-to spot. So wherever you live, make sure to find a go-to spot for yourself. Find a wall that pretty much doesn't have too much on it, and then you'll be set for some good pictures. So in order to take pictures by yourself, you're gonna need two things. One, you're gonna need a tripod, and this other thing you're gonna need is a iPhone tripod adapter or smartphone tripod adapter. I have an iPhone, so I just said iPhone. But this thing right here basically allows you to clip on your phone to any tripod. Most tripods are universal, and they have a screw-on kind of I don't even know what this is called, a screw-on circular thingy-mabobber right here. So what you'll do is you'll take your tripod, and it works for any tripod. This is the tripod that I've had for years. It's like a Sony tripod. I use it all the time. You take your tripod, you take your piece right here, and then you just kind of twist it around until it gets on there pretty snugly. See if we can get it to get on there. And then with this tripod, it actually has a piece at the bottom that allows you to kind of get it on there even quicker underneath. Actually, I'm making it looser. What am I doing? There we go. So boom, just like that. Now you have a way to stick your phone onto the tripod, and you'll be able to take pictures with the self timer, which is the way I do my pictures when I take them by myself. So boom, I have my tripod set up. I have my phone in the tripod holder for the iPhone. Obviously this isn't like the tallest tripod in the world, but it works just fine, and I'll be sure to tell you guys exactly, or tell you guys some options for different tripods. You can find some really good ones on Amazon. But anyways, so I have the camera set up. What I traditionally do when I take a fit pic is that I kind of test basically how the fit pic is gonna look if I angle the camera this way or if I angle it a different way. So we're gonna try this angle right now, and I'll show you guys kind of how it looks, and then I'll come back and talk about whether or not I like the pictures or not. I use the self timer when I take pictures, so when using the self timer, you kind of just have to pose in a way that you feel most natural, and just try different things. It's not a complete science. It's not sometimes it's not a 100% kind of thing where you get it every single time. You have to do a lot of pictures sometimes, and just put the work in and try a whole bunch. So all these pictures actually turned out pretty decent. I didn't really say anything while I was taking them. It really is as simple as that, guys. I'll show you guys the finished product of some of the images that I took, and then I can show you guys how I edit them if you want me to as well, which I will show later in the video. But when it comes to taking pictures by yourself, you kind of have to just know what poses that you want to do. Find a location that works for you. Obviously, get the outfit done. Have the equipment to take photos by yourself. I use the self-timer. It's not that hard. I don't think you need a remote or anything like that. Using the self-timer is good enough. And then you can kind of just edit and manipulate the photos. You guys should be seeing some of the images that I took. And then what you can also do, obviously, is that when you take pictures by yourself, you can get a lot more creative than what I just did. You can, take pictures of your feet, for example, just from a top-down perspective, looking at your feet. If you have a nice pair of sneakers on, you can, angle the camera in such a way to where you can get an up-close look at, like, for example, let me pull this down. You can get an up-close look at, like, for example, the G or something like that. And all you have to do is kind of play with the angle. And if I were to press the capture button right now, you could get the G in the varsity jacket. You can just play with different things. Oh gosh, losing the camera. Don't run away from me. You can play with different things like that, and you can actually come up with some really nice fit pics. What I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna go back to the office, show you guys how I do my editing and whatnot, how I would edit these pictures. I only took three pictures, and obviously you can, if you don't like your pictures, I'm just showing you guys how I do this, so I don't really care how they necessarily look. But if I were to post this on Instagram, maybe I would take more pictures, be a little bit more specific with my poses. But I think in general they look pretty good, so I'm not mad at them at all. But I'm gonna go back to the office, show you guys exactly how I do the editing on VSCO or VSCO, and then we can conclude the video. And hopefully you guys got some value from this. And then I'll also be sure to talk about tripods and whatnot as well. Actually, before we even get to the office, I'll talk about tripods real quick. Like I said, the piece that you need most is this smartphone clamp. It pretty much will go on any and all tripods. This right here, you can buy this at Best Buy or you can buy it on Amazon. It's about $20, so it's a little bit more expensive than you would think a little piece like this would possibly be. But for the tripod that I'm using right now, I don't even know the name of it. Like I said, it's just like this Sony tripod that I've had for a long time, and it works great. It's not the best build quality, but you don't need the best build quality. I'll be sure to add a couple pictures on the screen right now of Amazon tripods that I would buy right now if I were needing a new tripod, and that's kind of where I would go. I would get this thing right here so I could use this, whenever I wanted to, and then I would detach it when I don't need it because I'm using a camera right now, and then I would use the tripod regularly, or I would, obviously attach this piece to it and take fit pics by myself. Whew, it's cold outside, man. Let's go to the office. Whew. All right, so we are back in the office. See if I can get some more light up in here. Oh, okay, so we're back. And so after I finish taking my photos, my Fitbit photos, whatever they are, I always use an editing app called VSCO. I'll show you guys a quick little edit that I'll do. One of the things that you can look at when we're looking at, I'll just do a screen recording honestly right now. That should be on the screen. But one of the things that I always do is I edit my photos using VSCO. So if you look at, for example, this first image on the right, where the angle looks a little bit weird and a little bit wonky. So what I would probably do honestly is, make sure this is straightened up. I would crop it down a little bit, but in terms of editing, I always use F2, and I take F2, I lower it down pretty low because I don't want it to feel too much like an effect. And then I, usually raise the exposure a tad bit, lower the contrast to make the colors a little bit more flat. I then maybe increase the clarity a little bit. Saturation also decrease to make everything just seem a little bit more flat, so you can't really tell what time of day it is, things like that. White balance, I make it a little bit blue because actually there's a study done that if you make your images a little bit more blue, they're a little bit more appealing. If you guys hear a dog right now, I'm so sorry because that's so annoying. But make it a little bit blue, it goes a long way. And then I add a little bit of grain to the photo just because it gives it just a, I don't know, it makes it feel a little bit more nostalgic sometimes when there's grain. Now I'm not in love with the way I look right now, but it's a decent look. And then what I'll do is I'll save to my camera roll. So boom, save to the camera roll. All right, so now I have the photo in my actual camera roll and it's edited essentially. So this is kind of what it looks like. Hopefully my camera can focus on that in a proper way. And so I'll also have it on the screen. And so what I'll do is, let me just start the screen recording. Okay, so now I'm screen recording. And what I'll do with this image, because it looks a little bit wonky, is what I would do to make this a good image is I would definitely straighten it and to the point where maybe things look a little bit better there. And then I would crop it to where I don't really like the way my face looks in this. So and the Fit-Pic community is pretty generous when it comes to not having your face in pictures. So I'll change the crop element of it to maybe zoom in a little bit, cut off my face, and you have a decent photo for a Fit-Pic right here. And I'm not mad at this at all. This is what it looks like. Obviously it's on screen right now as well, but I think that looks pretty good. And this is just an example of how you can take the photos by yourself, do everything by yourself, get the Fit-Pic done without anyone else's help. Because I know that if you've ever asked your friends, or maybe you have a girl or just different people in your life, they probably get annoyed by asking them like, can you take pictures of me? And I know it's pretty annoying, but this is just one way you can get it done by yourself. Like I said, you need the iPhone holder. This is crucial right here. You need a tripod. I'm using the tripod right now for the camera. And you should be golden. If you got any value out of this video, please feel free to, oh my gosh, I didn't stop my screen recording. If you got any value out of this video, please feel free to subscribe. Like the video if you enjoyed it, of course. We're posting videos. I have another video coming out tomorrow. I'm going to Arc'teryx, so I'm gonna show you guys that. I have a video on Sunday of a new sneaker, so if you've been liking my sneaker reviews, you can definitely tune into that. But other than that, connect with me on Instagram at DrewJoyner_. Hopefully you have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.